Okay, so my dad bought this truck about 6 months ago. I think he paid $12,000 for it. And we have about $12,000 worth of chrome in the back. Because we could rebuild a 3406B and make it reliable and bring us home, but I heard a rumor that chrome does in fact bring you home. So, unload this stuff. And if you're wondering why I'm bouncing around on projects, I ordered this in November. It is April 8th. That is how serious the supply issue is in Canada. We even had to switch products because they couldn't even get us aluminum fenders with the drop down on the sides. So we had to settle for stainless. It is what it is. We'll make it work. It'll still be beautiful, but let's unload that. Here we go. Figured before we put it back on the frame and raise the thing up, we'd do as much work as we can to it while it's nice and low. It seems that every time we do something, there's one thing holding us back, either parts or something's wrong or missing. That the lights are all working, a little bit persuading them. Get ourselves a nice headache rack. And there was nothing specific for a K100, but it'll work exactly for what I need it to. Customizing custom part is just in my DNA, I guess. Let's get the truck on the road. Here we go. Okay, so I brought my shoes to Traction to get matched up and they measured them. Turns out there's two styles for this type of Eaton. It's a 14,600 pound axle now. And the difference is like a 1/16 of an inch. But the other style has, these supports are closer together with a bigger roller. So I had to get new shoes and a different kit to fit inside the cam, but now they fit. Now the question is whether the drum will still fit on, because he's like, oh, we might have to get you new drums now. So I don't know. I don't think so. That fits nice. I think. Oh. It's a different drum. Different drum by like 20 thou. Like it's almost on.
Now you might not be able to get that.
They said that they would drop off new drums, so I guess we're getting new drums. We're closer, just not. It's not right yet. That's too tight. Replacing both my tie rod ends, just because these are full of sand. I don't know how that happened. And they're sloppy and old. It's so wonderful. Painted it ahead of time so I can get it back to the same rough spot. Easy, easy. Okay, give you a little bit of WD-40. Settle down. Much better. 3/4 turn. Oh, she's got the juices in her now. Just a bit too sloppy. And the tie rod ends are the wrong size. Thread into the bar fine, but taper's too big, doesn't fit in the steering arm. Really hard to make deadlines like this. This is extremely frustrating. Anyway, carry on. Lots of other stuff to do. Hey, we got Vince back welding my contaminated aluminum. So I grabbed this 3/8 plate in town. and we're just making a corner here. That'll still allow for pipes to come in here on both sides. So what we're doing first is we put just a hair out, not completely square. So we've welded it already, so it's kind of solid at the bottom. What we're gonna do first is just weld the bottom on both sides, and then we'll run our brace up and pull it 100% square, and then we'll weld the seam right here. So I kind of want it to just be fighting itself, just to be under a little bit of tension. So we're gonna squeeze it together and then weld it in place under a little bit of tension, just so that there's less chance for wiggle. That's my theory. I've never done this before. You?
Well, it's always good to have, you know, a degree or two out so it can pull back or pull in. So,
Yeah.
like if it's 100% square and you weld it, probably be 1% out anyway. So.
After everything's together, we're gonna notch the channel just so that it has a little bit of room to flex. So we want it to flex here, otherwise it's going to crack all the welds, because the frame is going to twist a little bit. So if we notch it and then maybe put like 2 drain holes in there, it'll still give it some like connectivity and kind of straight, but hopefully it won't crack then. So I got aluminum bar with heim joints. Thinking about it now though, I should have got better steel bars with a rubber and then painted it to match the cab, because then it would hide those X's. I was thinking we're gonna do like a shiny X.
Yeah.
But I should have painted, or get them to paint it. And I might do that afterwards, but because I have it now, we'll just thread the heim joints in, bolt it, and I'll worry about it after. Newport's loving this. Hey, I got another thing for you to paint. Hey, I got another thing for you to paint. Hey, while you're at it, why don't you paint this? They're doing the tail bar now.
Yeah.
The fenders we didn't get in time, we do have them now, but we'll just mount them. I do kind of want the red to carry through towards the back, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Let's get the truck on the road. Here we go. Wondering why I said we're gonna get polished one more time after it's up. It's because I knew I'd be getting my fingerprints all over it. Vince welded it all solid where it is. I changed the angle on it because this one was pretty well level. I should have pushed it out a hair more. So instead that one, we pulled it, and now this bar is under tension because that pole kind of wants to go that way, but we pulled it level and then put the cross member on top, and that's all set. So right now we're gonna take it back off again. Vince would normally be able to weld all of this stuff upside down, but because it's crappy metal, it was just nicer to rotate that. Guys, we got the gussets welded in. We're gonna weld another plate in between here yet that lines up. With, yeah, we'll talk about that later. Put a little bit of vinyl over top of the, right where the bracket's gonna go, just to keep the aluminum off of the steel. I'm gonna put it in place and drop the cab down. Here we go. Okay, so before we put the headache rack back on, we're gonna put the tanks back in place, and we need to separate the steel from the aluminum. So we're using this Be Quiet stuff. Works really good. Nice and sticky on one side. Cute. Okay, so Vince welded the tabs on the top there so we can mount our clamps at the top. I put a strap across the top so I can put my clamps up to the strap, kind of as a straight edge. And then I'll know roughly where to put the clamps down below. Now, I bought this kit. It was actually meant for a 389. There was nothing specific for a K100. And it's not the exact right kit, but it'll work exactly for what I need it to, because I do have to cut it, which hurts. I gotta cut it there so my 90 fits in, but that piece will be used for the exhaust as it's coming around on the inside. That piece will connect right to the 90. The step down is a bit long, so cut that in half and put it on the inside, keeping in mind that this is just the intake pre-filter, so it doesn't matter. Then the clamp will go around it and secure the Y inside the channel, and then the 90 will come up. The other clamp will hold that, will hide that other seam about halfway up, and then the tops are just to hold it steady. So we'll start with the intake, and then we'll work our way to the exhaust on the outside and match the intake. So I kind of want to have the clamps in the same spot all the way across. So at the top it's going to be all the way across, and in the middle it's going to be all the way across, and then 2 more brackets holding it up. I cut this out already because I want it to flex, and the Y pipe will come in through here. And I still have to cut this lip on the outside here. Looks like I can get my clamp right flush with the very outside, and that means that the 90 is going to just hit this. I gotta trim this down. So we're gonna cut that there and across, and then just have a narrow piece in the middle there. Really, really hurts cutting that new exhaust. Anyway, here we go. Okay, so got the angle cut out for the Y pipe to come through here. We'll cover this up, and this 90 is gonna be tight, so we gotta miss this, and it's still gotta come out like 3 inches here, so hopefully it works. The only crappy part is that I need to trim this down right about here, or here maybe. I still have it fit inside and be able to put the clamp on there without a gap, and then we'll use that little piece for the intake. There's a little piece that comes off of the air filter to the turbo, and then a little piece that comes down, so there's no waste. Here we go. What we got here? Minus 3.5. We got 14.5. So I need the 90 to go in a 11.5. So I got about 1 inch that I gotta grab, so I might have to bring the tops in just a bit closer. Ooh, it's gonna be tight. The reason I went with 7-inch because it's already 7-inch coming out of the air filter. And come on, look at that. That's exhaust. That's sick. But tight, man, so tight. We'll get it. There we go. Okay, so this is not my favorite part because I have to cut brand new chrome, but customizing custom part is just in my DNA, I guess. I don't think I've bought anything that I have just bolted on. So anyway, wish me luck. Bad. All right, see if it fits. I hope it fits, because yeah, that's not a magic trick. It doesn't go back together. Okay, so I got it on there. Now I can manipulate it with the clamp just a little bit, but I'll tighten it down, snug it up, but then I basically gotta wait for, I can maybe drop it down in. Yeah, I can drop it down. And then I'm gonna have to wait for somebody to put the top pipe on. Then I can figure out how I'm going to brace it. I might just make a little plate that either goes in the middle here or on the outside, and then just angle iron, and then bolt that down to the bottom, or I might even just be able to rely on, I'm not sure. I'll think about that later. I'm gonna tighten this clamp on there, make sure that's squarish, and then go from there. So far, so good. As long as I'm not too wide. There she is, sitting on the clamps down below. Yeah, Vince, you can give me a hand. We'll lift these in, and I didn't want to do it by myself. It's just too heavy. Yeah, so we'll have to angle it down a bit, yeah. So we can do that. Yeah, just pull it, it'll pivot in here, but I gotta make it a little, I gotta make it a little bit more narrow, so. Instead of both 7 to 5. That's okay.
Are they the same size?
Yeah, they're the exact same.
Yeah.
This will sit in the truck like this. And that 5-inch will work. And then Lyle's is getting us a 90 to go this way. And then we get the 90. The 90 will come up this way, stop right about here. And then we got a stack on top of that yet, so that'll work. For the intake side, we'll cut they couldn't get it without the step down, but we'll cut that off because our intake boots are 7-inch anyway. Probably have to shorten this a little bit because the 90 coming up on the inside here, we can use that cut off for the actual intake pipe. So the whole intake right off the filter is going to be chrome, and the entire exhaust is going to be chrome, except for the muffler itself. We got to throw a muffler on it. And then as soon as we get it back from E-test, then we can replace the muffler with more chrome pipe. The other one slid together beautifully.
Well, this is up, so why is that not going in?
Like it's fine.
Block of wood on the top and just gently tap
A
it?
little tap.
I don't know. I got it.
Okay. Yeah, it's just over there. So that's what the cap
kept
down,
down.
right? So
That's perfect.
nicely lined up. This one's perfect this way.
Looks like height-wise too, they're like pretty well.
Yeah.
Well, it looks even. Might be a little touch off.
That's awesome.
No, I mean like for height.
Yeah. Top needs to come in here.
Yeah, but other than that, it looks pretty good.
Yeah. $20,000 paint job, $15,000 worth of chrome, and a coat hanger to hold the thing out there. The pipes are shorter too, so. You good?
Oh yeah, that's fine. You got
Okay.
lots of clearance.
Okay.
This side's yeah, there's no issues.
That's awesome. Measure once, cut once with a tape box. That's why I can't buy them anymore.
Can't advertise that anymore.
Okay, so I messed up a little bit. In the kit that I got, we got 60-inch pipe for the exhaust and 52 for the intake, right where they come up from underneath the cab. And the exhaust is too low. I need another foot on that, and then we still have a foot to spare for 13.6 with the suspension up. Keep in mind that I ordered all this stuff in November. It is April, but when I got it, so it's hard to, I didn't design the headache rack yet. I didn't know where it was going, so I took a guess and was able to make it all work together, but unless you have it physically in there, I don't think anybody's done this before. So not to this extent, so it's hard to explain over the phone what I want. It's hard getting my ideas out of my head to somebody else, but not a big deal. We'll put the intakes on, pop some lights in there, and polish that center thing again one more time because it looks pretty shitty, and then go from there. Here we go.